Microsoft Flight Simulator and a few issues they're having. Talk us through that, Devastate, because when you told me about that, I was like, I mean, that's absurd.
Yeah, so obviously the game came out about 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah,
Um,
not long, not
not
long.
long ago. And we've spoken before about the ridiculous specs in order to run the game. The game itself is absolutely huge. And they were started off with people couldn't even get on the game on day one. The servers were just destroyed. Um, and that the ideal PC spec requirements were so vast that it really became a niche game. And what I've been seeing this week is that because the way the game renders, because you don't necessarily download a map, the game renders the scenery
Live.
live. Not like obviously not see the traffic, but it's constantly downloading, and that they've had problems where the people on gigabit internet, it's still not loading the assets properly.
I mean, it is a very first world problem, isn't it? Like the game is just so good that the current infrastructure from an internet speed perspective is just not up to par. But I mean, it is a first world problem. But at the same time, it's like surely they stress tested this on some normal, reasonable internet, i.e., 50 meg down, 5 meg up, plus 10 gigabit down, 10 gigabit up, etc., and to see where it lands. Because I've seen people like just scrolling in and out of it, and you scroll like literally, you scroll all the way in, and you're like, oh my word, the detail is absolutely obscene. And if it's rendering that almost in near real time, imagine if you're running on like what's the word, on a SIM card. So if you're
Oh,
running your
you can't run that game on. I mean,
well,
I've
if you do it on, you could do it on 5G if you were next to a 5G mast. I think you could reasonably.
yeah, I mean your data users.
You have to have an unlimited, wouldn't you? You know,
Yeah,
literally, it'd have to be unlimited, and then you'd have to be within the boundaries of the fair usage policy, wouldn't you?
which is probably going to be done in the first day or two of playing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to speak quickly on that because it's not just your PC spec; it is your internet as well, and they are continuing to have there's other little tweaks within the game. Certain planes aren't rendering or causing bugs. Um, so it's it's one of those games that almost you have to leave it 2 or 3 months. The hype has then died down on the game, so there's less people pounding the server. Then your real diehards are playing the game, and I think that's when it becomes a really good experience. But at the moment, it's so fresh and new. People are chatting about these issues, and then I think we'll see what it's like in a couple of months. That's I probably think I'll play it in a couple of months.
Yeah, and I think like you're going to get that with a lot of games, aren't you? There's going to be issues when it first comes out, particularly when something of that ilk in terms of the quality of the PC spec that you need to run it. And now we've obviously seen the internet speed that you need to run it is going to no doubt cause issues. But then you would think after a period of time, the devs have ironed out those issues, issued bug fixes, etc., and then in theory, further down the line, it will become a reasonable game which anyone can play. And